Well, there are very few people in the world who have the gift of communicating with those who have passed on, but Tyler Henry is one of them.
Yeah, not only 20 years old, he's one of the most sought-after clairvoyants around, and it's all being documented in his new show, Hollywood Medium. Take a look.
I read celebrity clients and never have any idea who's going to open the door. Who's Elaine?
I'm freaking out.
I have a woman who's coming through. She's bringing me to the reference to Washington.
My aunt died on a plane over Seattle.
There is a reference to the March of Dimes.
Stop. That's my dad.
Oh my goodness. And Tyler joins us here live. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
And your first time to New York City.
Sure is.
How are you enjoying it?
I'm loving it. It's a little cold, much colder than Hollywood.
Just a little.
Just slightly.
Trust me, it's going to last for a while, but you're going to be snowed in.
Hopefully not.
Well,
leave Monday.
Okay,
we'll
you leave on Monday. We'll see.
Yep.
All right. So you not only have one gift, you have three exceptional gifts. Tell us what they are.
Well, I work as a clairvoyant, a medium, and a medical intuitive, and the show really follows me doing those three abilities.
What's the difference?
Yeah.
Well, so a clairvoyant is basically how I receive information, and that can revolve sometimes about future matters. And that's really kind of how I receive information visually in my mind's eye. A medium connects to people who've passed away and delivers messages. And then as a medical intuitive, I connect to people's physical bodies and let them know what they have medical susceptibilities to. And it can be really useful in a preventative way.
Can you tell them if they have a condition, if they're going to get better?
Well, generally, I just kind of get a feeling intuitively of what someone has a higher likelihood of developing later on. And so oftentimes, upon getting that information, it can really help people, you know, go to the doctor.
Take preventive action.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, future's not set in stone. And that's the beauty of it. It can be really useful.
Yeah. So you're one of the youngest mediums out there, though. You're only 20 years old.
Yeah.
But you noticed you had this talent when you were 10, right?
Yep.
So, you know, how did your family react to this when you told them?
You know, well, I mean, it took some time, and it definitely took some getting used to. I told my mom in my mid-teens, you know, really what I felt I was, and then my dad when I was in my later teens. So they, you know, obviously were quite shocked, but it really took some time to adjust. But they're my #1 fans, so I'm really lucky.
Well, speaking of fans, you just got a shout out on social media by one big psychic, John Edward. What was that like for you?
Oh my gosh, John Edward is amazing. I'm a huge fan, so that was really very surreal.
Yeah. Oh gosh, have you met him or spoken with him?
You know, I haven't, but I'm going to dinner with him tonight.
Are you?
Sure
Fantastic.
am. Exactly.
Oh, you have to come back and tell us about
I know. So you've met a lot of famous people now that you live in LA.
Right.
So did any of them have a bigger impact on you than others?
Well, every reading was so incredibly impactful, and one of the kind of funny parts of the show is that I really didn't recognize a lot of the celebrities that came for readings.
So you don't know when you're going to someone's house who it is, right?
Yeah, right. And then specifically, we make sure that there's no way I could know where I'm going. So when that door opens and we see the celebrity, that's my first time seeing or even knowing who I'm reading.
Yeah.
But I would say, Snooki was really one of the big shocking ones for me.
Because you knew who she was, right? Yeah. And sometimes you don't know who they are.
Usually on the show, I'd say most of the celebrities I didn't really recognize just because many were before my time, or you know, just not very pop culture
just
savvy.
not into that. Have you been starstruck yet?
Definitely been starstruck by a couple people. Margaret Cho and Snooki, of course, was quite shocking. Because walking into that, I was expecting something completely different, and it was incredible.
Now, let me ask you this. Do you ever deal with skeptics? I mean, do they come up to you and share their, skepticism about what you do?
Sure. And I totally understand skepticism. And, unfortunately, there are a lot of frauds in this world. And I feel like as an authentic medium, it's important for me to be able to provide the validation to people that what I do is legitimate. And throughout the show, you see that with these celebrities who have very public lives, even though I don't know who I'm reading, the details that come through are very specific in regards to sentimental childhood memories, details that have never been discussed, publicly in any way.
Things that you wouldn't know.
Exactly, unless I was connecting to their deceased loved one.
Right.
So what did you think about the movie The Sixth Sense? People probably ask you that all the time. I had to ask.
No, it was a great film, but for me, in the way that I work, it wasn't really, isn't really how the reality of it is. For me, I just kind of get subtle mental impressions that I kind of have to piece together, and they have to be specific because I don't like general information ever. So
you probably watch that and say, well, that doesn't happen that way.
Sometimes.
Well, you can catch Hollywood Medium with Tyler Henry when it premieres Sunday at 10 p.m. on E! Tyler, it's lovely to meet you.
Thank you.
Enjoy the snow tomorrow.
Thank you. I'm going to try.
And John Edwards tonight.
Exactly.